Is everybody ready to go? Got your ice cream? Your water, your cookie, your coffee? Okay. My name is Tony Bariant. I think most of you know that. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Can everybody hear me okay? Just in case you can't, you could read it. This is the best hearing accessible meeting you're going to find in Laguna Woods. Because not only do we have captions for you, we have a hearing loop installed in this room. So how many people are using the hearing loop right now? Okay. Would any one of you like just to tell me how you're using it, how you came to use it? So June, can I ask you? Just let me come over there. So what do you have to do to be in the hearing loop?
Well, you have to have a special setting on your hearing aids. And when you are in a room that is looped, all you do is just push that until you hear the little signal that you're in the loop. And it goes right directly into your ears. You don't have to depend on the PA system or anything else. It gives you much better understanding of the words that are being said.
Perfect. Perfect. So just to elaborate just a little bit, you have to have a telecoil in your hearing aid. Better than 80% of hearing aids have a telecoil. So if you don't think you have one, you may. It's just not been activated and programmed to use. Where is my little forms? My question is, how many people have hearing aids and you don't know if you have a telecoil? Okay. Where's Marilyn? Okay, Anne, could you get some forms, like this, and I'm going to have them raise their hands. Okay. So, who has, okay, she's going to get some forms from the table. There's some on the table there. Which one are you wanting? So, I have an assistant. Okay, so Alan. Okay, here you go. So keep your hands up. You have hearing aids, and you don't know if you have telecoil. Because what I want you to do is to make an appointment with your hearing aid provider and take this little form with them, and they will understand why you're in their office. So what you want to do is you want to have your telecoil activated so that when you come into this room, you just turn on your T-coil program and you'll hear me directly. Hear me directly. No background noise, no reverberation. Clear, clear, clear. June, would you say your experience is very clear? Can you hear me very clearly on the T?
Yes, very much.
And wherever you go, when you see a sign like this, it means that telecoil is in use, or the hearing loop is in use. So here in Laguna Woods, the boardroom is looped, and they've just remodeled the boardroom. It's beautiful. I have these forms on the back table for Laguna Woods residents or regulars here who want to know what is available in what clubhouse. So Clubhouse 2 is a real disappointment. There is a hearing loop in the big ballroom, and there's hearing loops in the 2 small rooms. But when somebody here in the meeting complained about it, and I went to check it out, and come to find out they had not even hooked up an audio system to it. The staff didn't know the loop was there, even though the GRF board approved the installation of a hearing loop. And I also learned that the acoustics are so bad that even if you're a hearing person, you can't understand. So I'm going to show you a little video. It's about 3 minutes, and I'll tell you what I did about it. I'm going to show you what I did about it.
This, to me, that transparency is so important and what we as a community have fought for such a long time. And I really...
Hold on just a minute.
Very, in the beginning when there was discussion to change this, I thought, well, maybe that's a little bit lower priority, but now I'm convinced that by integrating the electronics and everything so that we can...
And that screen is going to tell you what your time is. So the open forum is open to members for items that are not on the agenda. And please state your name and matter number. And in the future, we're probably going to have speaker cards so that there'll be a list of who's speaking and you'll know what order, and that way you won't have to be standing in line. You can just come up. But please continue, ma'am.
But before you start my timer, I want to make a comment about the hearing loop. So the hearing loop is working wonderful, and I appreciate the captions. But I need to say that when people are speaking off mic, like the presentation from the men's golf club, the person speaking was not on mic. I could not hear because I am using the loop. Also, Catherine commented as well, and her mic was not on. So just suggesting maybe wireless mics for people that are not on mic. Okay, thank you. Okay, so time starts. My name is Tony Berrient, 21390. I'm the president of the Hearing Well Club. I'm here today to create awareness about hearing loss in the village to GRF board members and the staff of Laguna Woods Village. The Social Services Department reports that the average age of Laguna Woods residents is 79 years old. The National Institutes for Health reports 50% of those who are 75 and older have a disabling hearing loss. We have 18,000 residents, doing the math. We have 9,000 people with a disabling hearing loss, and that's 50% of village residents. My request today is that the board and the staff keep in mind that 50% of the people you serve have a disabling hearing loss. Over the course of the 5 years that I've lived here, I've advocated for hearing assistive devices, hearing loops in the clubhouses. I've had a measure of success, but I'm not done yet. And today I must report a failure on behalf of with the board, the staff, and contractors that did not have any focus on the 50% of residents with hearing loss in the refurbishment of Clubhouse 2. The meeting rooms have absolutely the worst acoustics known to man. If you can imagine, there was no preparation was made for the hearing loops that were installed. They were not connected to any audio system. People that are hearing, normal hearing, have told me the reverberation and they cannot hear properly in the meeting rooms. It's horrible, even for normal hearing people. I want to ask you to please, whenever you are considering projects, making plans to create and improve the village, please consider that 50% of your residents have a disabling hearing loss. Please get expert counsel for better acoustics and assistive listening devices in the clubhouses or hearing loops in meeting rooms. Thank you for listening, and I will be back. It's not the first time that I've presented myself at the Golden Rain Foundation board meeting, and it's not going to be the last, because if I can schedule it, I want to go to each and every board meeting, because I want to create awareness about hearing loss in the village. And it's not good enough to do that once, because all the people, the majority of the people that are on staff, and many of them that are on the board, they're hearing. Hearing loss is not their daily experience. So they forget. And we have to help them remember. And the ways that you can help is that when you go to a clubhouse event, ask for an assistive technology device. Ask for a hearing device. Find out what is available in that clubhouse. So on the website and on this sheet of paper, there is something for every clubhouse. Sometimes you have to wear a little box with a headset, or if you have Telecoil, you can wear a neck loop. It's attached to the box, and use the T-coils. I'll be providing more information. I'm actually going to create some demonstration videos, and I'm going to be putting them on the website or on YouTube. And I'm recording this meeting right now. This is the second meeting ever that I've done, and I'm a novice videographer. And what I'd like to do is to record these meetings so that those people who couldn't make it, would have come but couldn't come, will be able to get the information they missed. So we'll just see how that goes. So for those of you, and I know there's a lot of you here that are not in Laguna Woods, what's going on in your community? What's going on in your senior centers? What's going on in your government buildings? Is there assistive technology? Do you need help hearing in traffic school? I hope you don't go there, but in every place you go, public place where there is a microphone being used, there should be, by law, some hearing assistive technology. So don't struggle and don't sweat it. Just find out what's available, and you'll be creating awareness about hearing loss. Can I count on you? I can't do it alone. Another thing you could do is you have neighbors, you have family that are close enough. Try to get them to come to meetings. Okay. We were talking about hearing loops. They're available at Geneva Presbyterian Church, Church of the Cross, right here on El Toro Road. We're still working on St. Nicholas, and if you are a parishioner at St. Nicholas and want to help me, please come talk to me, because we really need to get them going with a loop. There's also Church of the Masters in Mission Viejo, and the Norman Murray, what's the name of our senior center? Sylvester, yes. Sylvester, say what's it again? Lawrence Sylvester. Gee whiz. See, I got a couple loose ones there. So the room where Penny Flaherty does her lip reading classes is looped. So if she's wearing a mic, you should be able to use a loop in that room. And they are a nonprofit organization. They're not part of the government or anything. So they would need to raise money to put a big loop in one of their big rooms. So maybe we could help do that. Okay. Let's see. Is Andy here? There's Andy. Sandy, come on up here. This is a special guest who's dropping in just to make an announcement, and kind of an exciting announcement, I think. She's from the California Telephone Access Program, and she has a special announcement. So.
Thank you. What time were we talking about?
Huh?
What time for the classes?
Well, I'm going to have. I want to see who's interested. I'm going to pass out a little sign-up sheet.
Perfect.
And you're going to give me the dates of availability, and I will find a room.
Perfect. Hello. Good afternoon. I am with the California Telephone Access Program. Most of you are familiar with that. We have the home telephones for people with hearing loss. We also have the Hear All devices for your cell phones and the Serene devices for your cell phones. Did you know that? Taught you something. What I'm here today to talk to you about is a new program. It's still a pilot program, which means it's just a test period of time where we are teaching seniors how to use their iPhones. Anybody have an iPhone? Okay, not the Android right now, but the iPhones. Now, my daughters think this is hysterical because they think I'm a senior. And how am I supposed to teach anyone how to use a cell phone? But I'm pretty good at it. So, what we're looking at is next month on July 11th. And Tony has a sign-up sheet here. If you are interested, please give us your name
And contact information.
and contact information. We will bring as many instructors as you need. If there are 4 of you, you'll get 1 of me. If there are 8, we'll get 2, 12, we'll get 3, and so on. We'll teach as many classes that day as we have people interested. We may have to pack a lunch and a dinner. I might fall asleep about 8 p.m., so we'll get it done. We're not sure what time because we need to know how many people are interested. If you think maybe, put your information down. If we teach enough people and get enough feedback, the Public Utilities Commission, who runs our program, will probably say, great, go ahead, keep doing this. But for right now, we can only teach them through July. Okay? How many of you think you might be interested? All right. Perfect. Okay.
Just to be clear, this is for iPhone only,
Right now.
not for Galaxy, not for Android phones. If, like she said, if this is a successful program and they roll it out again, they will be able to include Android phones. So, and remember, this is just for seniors. You're all seniors here. So if you know somebody that has an iPhone and they're struggling, you want to get them signed up. So you want them to contact me. Okay, because I'm going to be arranging for the rooms, but I need to know how many people are going to sign up first. And we're going to only have 1 person per room because we need a quiet atmosphere where you can focus with the instructor. Any questions? What time would that be?
You have no idea whether it be morning or afternoon or evening.
What time are we looking at?
Well, it'll probably be some in the morning and some in the afternoon, depending on how many people.
So probably we're looking at from 10 to 12, then let's say 12 to 2. We're looking at July 11th. That would be your normal meeting day if you met in July. So 10 in the morning to noon, 1 o'clock or 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock if we get more people. Okay? So on the sign-up sheet, put your name and your contact information, and we'll teach as many classes as we need. We keep the classes small so that we go at your pace. And we usually have 2 instructors for every 4 to 6 people. We teach some basic. So what we'll do is we'll put you in a group if you have a brand new iPhone and you don't know at all how to use it. Some of you may be a little more expert, and you may get a different group where you don't need as many basics. Yes, sir?
What is the location of the class?
What is the location of the class?
The best I can tell you right now is it's Laguna Woods. Depending on how many.
How about I turn this?
It's okay, I got this up.
Okay.
Let me use
Okay.
yours. And that's why I need to have your contact information, because at the end of this meeting, I'll have an idea of how many people there are that want this. Plus, I'll add a couple more. And then I will talk to the recreation department, and I will get whatever number of rooms we need to get, and I will let you know. So it's only on July the 11th, right?
Right now.
So let me ask you, this room here, if I was to get this room, could we put 4 tables like in each corner, and so we'd have 4 groups?
Yes.
Okay, so that's fewer rooms. Hold on, Mary, I'm coming. Have you talk on mic. Where's my mic person?
Okay, maybe I'm just the only one, but I think some people don't understand. An iPhone is only an iPhone, and an Android is a Samsung or something of that sort. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So there's a difference between a smartphone is the general topic of what people say, but there's 2 categories.
So you can have an iPhone and many, many different carriers, which means you pay your bill to many different places. But the actual device would be an iPhone. If you're not sure, kind of put it up and we can take a look at it. It's pretty easy to tell. But it doesn't say anywhere on it iPhone. Mine says T-Mobile, but it's an iPhone. So if you're not sure what you have, let me know.
Yep.
As a bus buddy in the village, could I just say that Clubhouse 1 is the easiest one to get to if people come on a bus. So for whatever that's worth.
And you, sir, had a question up here. Right here.
What the version? Excuse me. What is the version of iOS to use for iPhone?
Good question. If you are interested in this class, it doesn't matter which iPhone you have. So for example, if you bought it years ago, it's called an iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 7. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the operating system. Means if you've updated it or if you haven't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. It really doesn't matter what version you have. Just make, the only thing we would ask is that you make sure your phone is charged before you come. If you've done the updates, fine. If you haven't, that's okay. Everyone's phone will look a little different in the class, but generally speaking, they have the same functions. So our goal is to teach the basic use. Also, they're called accessibility features, means how to make it sound better. How can you hear better? And there are many, many features built in to the iPhones that nobody knows how to use. So we're going to teach you some of those features for hard of hearing. And then also texting. Some people might be more comfortable texting, and we teach a little bit of that too. So if you can do the updates, that might give you more features, but if not, that's okay.
One of the gentlemen commented that you should know that it should be an Apple iPhone is how you know that it's an iPhone and not just a cell phone or a smartphone, but it's by Apple.
Yes.
Any other questions? Right in the back.
I wonder when the Cinderellas that have the Samsung might look for a bid workshop.
Okay, she's asking when we may teach the Android classes. If we get enough students through the end of July, the Public Utilities Commission will look at all the feedback forms. At the end of the class, you fill out a little survey and you say this class was fantastic, great. If you all say this class was lousy, no chance of holding another class for Androids. If you give feedback that says it was great, now we would like to have an Android class, most likely we'll be able to do that. But iPhones are much more similar to each other. Androids tend to be very different, so we have to figure out how we can teach an Android class if 4 people have different versions. And that was a little more challenging. Doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means they wanted to start us with just the iPhones first. So we're looking at July as the end of our teaching period. Then the Public Utilities Commission will do some review. And as soon as I know, you will know about 5 minutes later, I'm certain. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
So anybody who's been shy about getting an iPhone, now is a good time. Even, you don't have to have one today, but if you will purchase one, get signed up, and then have one, then you're going to be good to go. Go ahead.
Also, if you have an iPhone or your friend has an iPhone and you're not sure, come together. You can work on the same phone, right? 2 of you. And after the class, you may say, now I'm ready to get an iPhone. But you can't come to class with no phone. You'd have to pair up with somebody, okay? And if you have a family member who provides your iPhone to you and they want to come with you just to see what's going on, that's okay too. But just the seniors are their participants. So they'd have to kind of sit in the back and, okay. Good. And don't be shy. There are many of us who don't know how to use all the features. When they wanted me to teach a class, like I said, I went home and told my daughters, and they laughed for a very long time. They said, Mom, you don't even know how to use your iPhone. I said, well, you know, I better get with it. So don't be shy. Bring your phone. You don't even know how to turn it on. That's okay. We'll teach you. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Andy. Okay. So Andy's going to hang around for a little while. On the information table and at the reception desk where Paul, my treasurer, is, there's these green pieces of paper. And this is my feedback sheet. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have recommendations for topics, if you have any gripes, be kind, but let me hear from you. And so grab one of these, and this is the way you can communicate with me, and I will either call you or email you, depending on what contact information you provide for me. Okay? Okay, so we're going to make this meeting really fun. Caption Call is a captioning telephone. It's available at no charge. It's part of a federal program. You need to have a landline phone. If you don't have a landline phone and have an iPad, you could still use Caption Call. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because Caption Call is a sponsor of this meeting, and they pay for the captioning. And Laura here is our court reporter who is doing the captions, and we thank you, Laura. I want to recognize professionals in the room. Anne Mundell Noel, she is the club audiology advisor, tongue. And Rachel, I know you're in here. Rachel Burnett, Dr. Burnett is here from Mission Audiology. Sybil is here from Connect Hearing, and Judy is here from Costco, and she brought the cookies, and so she's from Costco in Irvine, just being very specific. Do we have any other professionals in the room that I might have missed? I don't want to miss anybody. Thank my volunteers, Daniel, who's all-around volunteer, Paul, who is our treasurer, and Elaine, who took care of refreshments, and her friend, who kind of got roped into it, right? Sure. She didn't have a ride today, and Elaine says, "I give you a ride. We're going to the Hearing Well Club." Yay! Yeah. Okay, and Marilyn Hoppy, thank you so much. And I have a new volunteer today who's like on the fence, so I want to thank her. I won't mention her name because I don't want to put her on the spot. Okay, so I had to get that little commercial in. Also, too, Andy mentioned Serene Innovations, so I just want to be really clear. I'm engaged in an employment situation with Serene Innovations. I started working for them in the last month. I'm an outreach manager. I will not be part of sales, but I will be responsible for demonstrating. I will travel nationwide. I will be contacting all the state telecom facilities like California Telephone Access. I'll be going to Florida. There'll be tech expos throughout the United States, and I'll be traveling there, and I'll be representing Serene Innovations and bringing products to show and demonstrate and just get the word out. So there are a lot of phones that they have and cell phone assists that they have that are available through the state telecommunications department. So I just want everybody to know that it's sort of full disclosure here. Everybody's